Hello everyone, welcome back. I might be very loud right now, so I'm apologising about that because we've had Skype issues and now it's changed my mic level. So we're going to just turn me down. Look at that, sounds much better now. Lovely, jubbly. It's
now
early.
I can barely hear you.
You can now barely hear me? Sorry man, you probably just turned me down as well. My bad.
Just yell at me. Nah, you're
okay. The reason it's very dark on my screen right now is because it's actually still dark outside. Although, actually, it could be bright. It's 6:30 a.m. on the west coast. It's 9:30 a.m. where Roy is. It's about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Maybe we're slightly late. I mean, by now you've probably noticed that we've been late a couple of times. Just trying to make sure we get the teams into the tournament, Roy, right? I mean, we want them to play. I mean, why not? Makes sense. Getting teams in tournaments. How are you today, mate? Are you good?
Oh, I'm great. I'm lovely.
Lovely jubbly.
Peachy keen.
Peachy keen, jelly bean, and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm just going to have a look at the brackets for today. It's the EU UGO. We have not been present in the EU for this year yet. We had NA last weekend. NA last weekend was probably one of our best UGO tournaments we've had. Very, very close up until the finals as well. Finals was even close. It was absolutely spectacular. Team USA actually...
It was 3-2. I think it was the closest final we've ever had.
I think so. I think so. So we're looking to see whether or not we're going to get the same thing in EU. We have got some players coming back from the scene that we haven't seen for a long time. So that's going to be interesting. And we've got a fair amount of teams as well. Some guys didn't show up, unfortunately. We have got a free agent team as well. So if you signed up as a free agent team, as a free agent today, and you didn't get a team, I'm very sorry about that. But if you didn't show, then you could have got a team. I mean, there was loads of people available. And we are getting teams out there. And we're trying to create teams as well for ATs and everything else. So make sure you join our Discord, the Unity Discord as well. But yeah, as you can see, we've got a ton of teams. We are going to go for We Miss 117 AD and versus Fare Thee Well. It's a little bit of interesting information about the 117. What did we find out, Roy? What's that about?
I mean, well, that was a great year. I don't know if you remember it too well, but I loved 117.
Well, I'm old, but I'm not that old, mate.
Oh. Right. No, they're role playing as the Roman Empire. They're gonna take over.
They're role playing as the Roman Empire. I love it.
Yeah.
That's kind of makes sense. So if you Google that, guys, go and Google 117 AD. It's like Roman Empire fully fledged, basically. So they want to take over the scene. They want to be excellent and awesome. We're going to find out whether or not they're going to be able to do that today. They are on our red team today, and the blue team will be Fare Thee Well. Maybe they'll be able to take out the Roman Empire. Obviously, they didn't last. No, maybe that could be a thing. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to go over the teams. I don't think we've had any of these guys in the tournament at all in recent UGOs. So it's good to see some new people. I hope you get in the chat. Do ! brackets to find out what the bracket is. Make sure you do ! DEU. Donate a $3 to the tournament. You can connect to the Matcherino website easily through Google, Twitter, Twitch, everything else, and go to the top right hand side, click contribute, put the EU UGO code into the site, and you'll give a $3 to the tournament. It's the very least you can do. If we can get to $100 for free for these guys today, that'd be awesome. Had some donations from Sudoka and some other fellas as well. CS, Creme Saucier are also sponsoring some of our giveaways during the breaks. So we've got some skins giveaway. You guys will also be able to vote on the second round and semi-final series. So keep checking the brackets. See which games you want to be following today. And you're going to get the choice to actually pick the series that we stream today as well. To make it a little bit more interactive for you guys at home. It should be a good one today. I'm looking forward to this. It is early in the morning, but it doesn't mean I'm any less excited. And I'm sure exactly the same thing goes for Roy. We are going to go through these teams, get on with the tournament, get on with the action. And yeah, Roy's going to go first with the red team, if you could.
I am going to go over those builds real quick. But you just want to mention, looking at the blue team's comp, I'm actually pretty excited to see them play. That's a wonky comp. But nonetheless, starting off over here with Equa the Fallen. He's going to be the firebrand, the support for this red team. He's going to be running Sword, Shield, Staff, Melandra Rune, and Mender's Amulet with Valor, Honor, and Firebrand. So the traits are pretty normal. He is going to be running Sword instead of Mace, just for the extra mobility on that sword too. And he's also running Melandra Rune instead of Water Rune, which is an interesting choice. Just going for a little bit more toughness and vitality, as well as Obviously, less condition duration and stun duration, so a little bit more personal survival there as opposed to
no
the
Scourge
team
though.
support.
And it depends if they're running. I mean, then they're going to be
makes
running
sense.
a Mirage, right? If you're going to see 2 Mesmers, that's what you'd think. So I mean,
He's also only running the heal in the Elite Miniature. He's going for the Signet of Mercy for that res on the Signet, so which we saw last week on NA.
Yeah, nice.
Next up, we've got Leader Engineer. Most likely, he'll be going for the side nodes. He's going to be playing this Hollowsmith with Rifle, Leadership Rune, and Demolisher Amulet. He's going for Tools and Alchemy, Static Discharge. Of course, he's going to be running the Protection, it looks like, on the on this Engineer.
There's a few different things there, yeah. There's also the difference between light density and I'm just gonna go off on one because it's Hollowsmith. But he's actually gone for Condi removal as you exit Forge over the light density amplifier, which is, I don't know, might be better versus this team comp. We'll have to wait and see. But removing Condis, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, Pad! I remember this guy. Sorry, keep going.
Well, next up, as Jebro said, Pad, he's going to be running the Chrono, rather. And he will be playing Sword, Shield, Staff, Leadership Rune, Paladin's Amulet, Inspiration, Chaos, and Chrono. He does have Portal, Gravity Well, Blink, Phantasmal Enchanter. So we are going to see the class stacking coming into play from both these teams, actually. Because the next player up, we've got Jin on the Mirage. Taking advantage of the ability to class stack here with the Sword, Torch, Staff, Adventure Rune, Carrion Amulet, Dueling, Illusions, and Mirage. He also has Portals, so we're going to see 2 Portals on this red team.
Nice.
Yeah. And finally, we've got Tedis. He's going to be on the Spellbreaker build. Looks pretty meta so far. Great Sword, Dagger Shield, Strength Rune, Demolish Amulet. He's going to be running Discipline, Defense, and Spellbreaker. Pretty standard utilities. He is going to go for Featherfoot Grace instead of Berserker Stance, so the extra stun break going to be obviously synergizing with Rousing Resilience instead of the better sort of resistance there. He's also using Magebane Tether instead of Revenge Counter, so he's going to have a lot less access to resistance on this build than he might taking the other 2 options there. And to be honest, I think that's probably the right choice because I don't see a lot of condition damage coming out of this blue team. Probably only the Mirage. Yeah, actually, in fact, the Mirage isn't running Condi, so definitely the right choice there.
Okie dokie. So that's going to be our red team. I'm going to go over the blue team members. So yeah, interesting. Just a couple of changes you noticed between a few of the traits there. I mean, like 2 Portals going to be pretty good as well. Obviously, the strength of the Chronomancer was the real thing we saw coming out last week on NA's UGO. Gravity Well. Yeah. Gravity Wells that were hitting, that were popping off, man. I mean, those were some of the major turning points and pinnacle moments of last week's games.
Especially the team fights, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely massive. So when you see those grav wells, you want to be using them so well, and so wow. I'm gonna try and stop saying well. And we're gonna see a lot of Chronos this week. We only really saw, I think we saw 2 max, but definitely EU brought out the Chronos last week. Okay, so starting off with Sigothiel or Sigothiel, something like that. He's gonna be running Druid. He's gonna be going for Staff, Sword, and offhand Warhorn with Wilderness Survival, Nature Magic, and Druid. Checking out Menders there and going for Rune of Daliak. So he's probably going to be that 1v1 fighter, even pushing far or maybe going close. Let's have a look over towards the Mesmer. He'll be Chrono with Chaos, Inspiration, and Chronomancer with the Portal and with Gravwell as well. He's going to be running Rune of Leadership and Paladin. Paladin being one of the more tanky amulets at the moment with Vitality and Toughness. Didn't used to be considered a tanky amulet, but nowadays it is. We've got the Revenant, nice power rev. We've got Invocation, Devastation, and Herald. He's going to be playing with Marauder and with Rune of Strength with Sword, and also he's playing with Hammer. That's going to be fun. That's going to be good. We got no Scourge, dude.
Wait,
on
what?
either
Playing
of
with
these teams.
Hammer? Oh my god.
I mean,
all right.
His defense. I mean, it's still. I mean, Staff is especially. With no Scourge, maybe that's what he's thinking. You know, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Doesn't want to get involved in the well action, obviously, it seems. We got Thief. Dome is going to be playing Thief. Oh, wow. He's playing S. He's playing Sword Dagger. Okay. Shortbow. He's going to be going Trickery, Deadly Arts, and Acrobatics, sorry. Why did I sound surprised when I said SD? I've been seeing so many people playing DP recently on NA. I'm just like surprised that anyone's playing it. I'm like, what? It's just normal. Makes sense. It's a completely awesome build. It's more meta at the moment as well. I think I've just been playing against too many DP thieves recently. Legendary Great Sword, and also it's 7 AM. And Torch for the second Mesmer. Remember, we can class stack. It's going to be Dueling, Domination in Mirage. You can class stack in this tournament. You can run 3 Mesmers if you want, as long as they run Core, Heart of Thorns, and Path of Fire. Roy, you can tell them to get ready. Let's get on with this game. We're only a little bit late. It's fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, looking at the blue team, as I mentioned before, they're all power, and they don't have any condition damage. There's going to be the one condition player on the side of red team, the Mirage they're running, Condi. And I'm happy to see the easy work Mirage on the blue team running power, because we haven't seen a lot of power Mirages. I feel like all the ones on an A were running Condi, so it's kind of nice to see that change there. But I think obviously the blue team's comp's a lot more mobile. Double portal, they've got the druid, they got the rev, they got the thief, and I think they'll be trying to move around the side nodes a lot, maybe decap mid quite often, but probably not go for the team fights quite as much, as red team of course does have the Firebrand. Even without the Scourge duo there, he's going to be providing a lot of support for the team. So it'll be interesting to see how those teams rotate around each other.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's just interesting to not see a Scourge whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the only match we're going to see without a single Necro. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think Chrono has really taken over a lot. You know, we saw Rank 55 win in an A last week without running a Necro. They actually didn't run a Necro at all. They were trying to run Rev for a little while, and then when it seemed like that wasn't working, they switched to the Chrono. And obviously, Chrono has been, especially since Frosty released that tutorial video, a lot of people, I think, have been running it now. It is very strong. Has a pretty easy rotation for the most part, and provides a lot to the team fight. So, as you mentioned, with that grab well, obviously, the damage it puts out, and still being pretty tanky. And of course, you can 1v1 fairly well as well. And now I'm saying well a lot.
Yeah,
See,
it's just
the tournament of wells, I think.
Tournament of Wells as well. Let's have a look. While we're waiting for them to just ready up, one of them has nipped out for a moment. So we're just going to quickly go over the builds while we wait for them. Oh, no, we don't even need to. We don't even need to. I was going to go over the Chronomancer and just talk about it, but we don't need to right now. So we're about to start. Let's get excited for the first game of the UGO in the EU. First tournament in the EU for the UGO of the year. Roy, take us away with those splits on the map. Good luck, guys. Let's get going.
All right, and we're seeing a very interesting start here from Red Team. 5-man start over at Windmill. Although, probably, no, we're just going to have Pad, the Chrono. He's going to drop his portal. I like that, actually. He's going to drop the portal. Dome immediately going for the engage over on him. And we're going to see Pad as well as Jin in a 2v1 with this Thief. Mr. Fortune, the blue Mesmer, going to be capping his home node. And the rest of blue team actually aggressing onto Windmill. Pretty much just going to leave mid to the Druid.
Yeah. They don't want to push a team fight. They're trying to avoid... It looks like they're just trying to solidly avoid this, because obviously they've not got the Firebrand at all, so they want to make sure they don't go into that team fight. Maybe not even 3v3 at this point with the Firebrand involved, but Ikwa is going to be going quite low himself, so he needs to make sure he gets out of there. He's going to start to use a lot of his cooldowns. Maybe stability needs to be popped off just to get out of there. He's not really got anything left, unfortunately. It does look like he's going to go down. Oh no, the heal just about. But he still needs to get relief here from somewhere. Sorry about using that phrase. But anyway, Pad is okay as well towards the Windmill. Looks like it should be okay. And they do forward that attempt on that node at present. Easy could go down here. Looking quite low though.
Yeah, Pad starting to move off from Windmill. That's going to be the first cap for Red Team, picking up Windmill. That was the Warrior Teddies on the side of the Red Team. Portal going to come out there from Pad. He was just dropping his portal down there. Bit of an interesting position. But the rest of Red Team kind of catching this this Mirage out a little bit off node. That's, again, a bit of an interesting portal there from Pad, just used to kind of disengage from that fight. But he's going to be okay for the time being. And Easy Work actually might be getting a nice decap here on the only node that Red Team has. Completely negating their points. Blue Team going to pick up mid as well. Blue Team running away with this game at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. We did see the Engineer fall, unfortunately. He did nip onto the point as he was trying to make sure the Guardian got away there, but unfortunately the Guardian already went down. Firebrand and the Holosmith, sorry. The first targets today are going to be taken out. Pad's not been able to reset in this game yet, and to be honest, his Red Team are fairly broken apart. They're not able to really conquer anything. I'm not sure the Roman Empire would be too happy with their performance right now, but we'll see if they can bring it back together.
Well,
it's still early
you know,
days.
Jebro, Rome was not built in 2 days, and certainly
In 2
not
days?
in one game. Or a week, I don't know. You know, there's
Rome wasn't built in a day, Roy. That's definitely.
Well, I was cutting them some slack. Either way, though, it looks like blue team starting to lose a little bit of health over on this mid node. They are getting engaged on, and maybe the Firebrand support coming out here can help this red team win. Pad going very low though, and he's not going to be able to. Oh, good MI though coming out from Equa. Not sure if he's going to be able to get this res. He's going very low. Black Aki doing a lot of cleave support with that sword, but the good Mercy Rune res is going to come out there from Equa, and that's going to give Pad the support he needs for the time being.
Indeed. So I'm not really moving around the map too much with the camera, unfortunately. I'm being a bit slow with this. Dome's trying to go for the decap. Easy as well. Going to 2v1 over there versus a leader engineer. He should go down if he doesn't get any help any time soon. Jin and Teddy's in a similar situation, 2v1ing over on the other side of the map versus Mr. Fortune. He should go down. Almost evades that damage. Unfortunately, doesn't win out in the end. It's going to be a 2v2 over. Oh no, it is going to be a 2v2 now as Easy Work goes over towards the midpoint with Equa as well. He's just trying to potentially... I was wondering whether or not he's thinking about going back over to the other point on the windmill, but the engineer did well in the 1v1 to keep them distracted for a long time. On the other side of the map as well, we've had the similar situation, 2v1s being won elsewhere, so the side caps should go to each team right now. They'll probably flip quite a lot. Mid is really the main contestant right at the moment, right? And red team, if they do gang up here, should be able to solidify the 2-cap potentially.
Easy Works portal is going to actually open up over on Mansion, bringing most of his team through here. 1v1 against Teddy's. Obviously, he's going to have a lot of trouble with these 4 players of the blue team. He's going to actually have to rotate off. Jin coming in a little bit late here. He's going to be able to stop the cap, although actually looks like he's just going to drop the portal and leave. Going back to mid, trying to support that node.
This Warrior's done a fantastic job, actually. Absolutely fantastic job. Even if he goes down here.
Yeah. Not going to be able to stay alive forever. Oh, Equa just coming in. Not going to be able to get that res. That would have been a really nice res. Does get the cancel on Mercy Signet, though, so he has it for now. And looking back at the midpoint, Pad getting a low again. Looks like the Chrono definitely the target for this blue team in a lot of these team fights. And he's probably going to go down to here. The Thief staying on top of him, doing a nice job. He's just going to open the portal and able to get back onto midpoint, but he needs to be careful. There's still 2 players here from... Oh, and the Thief pointing right back up to him is going to get him down. Nice job from that Thief to stay on him. And the decap over on Windmill as well. Looks like that came out from Easy Work from the blue team. This Mirage on the side of blue. Doing a nice job of keeping the red team's points low.
Yeah, we're soon Pad he did almost get away. He did a good job, but it feels like you said, you know, he's been running for most of the game. They're just trying to lock down that Chronomancer, and at the moment, red team trying to 2v1 the Thief out of anything. Probably best to maybe leave the Holosmith over there, deal with that SD Thief as well. Shouldn't have too much trouble. We can at least keep him entertained for a while. Obviously, it's not just dependent on the matchups, it's dependent on skill. So sometimes those matchups can be a little bit more even than we may give them credit for. So let's have a look over towards midpoint now. Leader still, he is, I mean, he can do well for a moment, but with that Thief on him as well, it's just too much damage for him to take. And red team, unfortunately, because the Guardians only just respawning, can't really come into assist, unfortunately, as well. So they're looking at like they're having 1 member off the map for a significant period of this game, ever since that initial engagement.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, I really don't love the Firebrand here. I know you can still support, you know, pretty much anyone on Firebrand, but he's not really playing with a lot of his team, and I don't really know that there's a player that he can, you know, 2v2, 2v3 with fairly well. Obviously, he could, you know, maybe stick with the NG, and that would be okay.
I'd say, yeah, the Holosmith.
I mean, we see the NG staying on these side nodes a lot, and obviously that's, you know, a good place for the NG to be, but it kind of wastes the Firebrand. And you see Equa, he just runs into mid here, trying to support Pad, but it's a bit of a late rotation, and blue team take him and Pad out. It's 2 more kills picked up for blue team, the midpoint as well, and we're actually about halfway through this game, only just going to hit 300 points. It's a slow game, but blue team absolutely in command for the whole game at the moment. Might even see Jin. Oh, big! Sword 5 coming out of Black Aki. He's going to take Jin down. A lot of damage from this Rev. And it's just kills all over the map for this blue team at the moment.
Let's just double checking the Rev here as well. He did change over to Staff. There you go. He's not going for the Hammer Hero. No Hammer Hero right now. And Rampage comes out from Teddy's. It's going to be a fairly chilled first game today. You know, it's early in the morning on NA. They just knew we needed a little bit of a, a little bit of a warm up. We're just chilling, we're hanging out, we're enjoying the tournament, enjoying the chat, seeing what's going on. NA, we got up to 1K viewers as well. I had a couple of hosts last week, but still, 1,000 people stuck around throughout the day. See if we can get the same on EU. EU turned up in terms of the teams today, which is awesome to see as well. We did see Easy going down. Pig just popped into my head then. It's probably not the best thing to happen right now. And Equa again over on the midpoint. It feels like he's
taking so much damage. I mean, the Rev Thief combo is just is insane. I mean, they put out so much damage. Nice downstate knockback though from Equa, and they are gonna get the res, the NG, as well as Ted is gonna be able to support that Firebrand there. I'll be back on the node. This should be a pretty good fight. I mean, obviously 4 versus 2 for red team. There's no way they should lose this. And Black Aki actually get pulled back in that Mage Bane tether. Ted is doing a nice job staying on him. But the portal is going to get the Mesmers out. So it's going to be well, lead engineer going to be coming through that. So 3 versus 2 at the moment on this node. Sigofiel, the Druid, going pretty low from this blue team. Easy work coming in. Try and help peel for this Revenant and Druid at the moment. And Equa actually going to go down. The Thief going back on top of him. A lot of damage coming out from this blue team. And they are going to probably be able to cleave him out. The res starts, but it's not going to be enough. And red team going to be forced off this node.
Yeah, and with the Guardian down, there's probably 0 to no chance of them at all coming back into this round.
Ted is doing such a good job. He's going to get Black Aki down. And Dome's actually really low. I don't think he can support that. That might be a kill for red team actually picked up here. Ted is doing an absolutely incredible job at the moment.
And this doesn't make any sense. Did they just disengage really quickly that they lost people, or was it just the Warrior just being an absolute boss there?
No, it was the Warrior. He did a really nice job. He was able to take Black Aki out. Dome was too low. Sigofiel also too low. And honestly, I think this Warrior is the only reason maybe they have 140 points at the moment.
I mean, he is doing a fantastic. He was doing well far. We are going to see the Chrono, I think, start to go towards the far point. Let's just double check that that is that's going to be the Mirage. Paddy's obviously playing on Chrono at the moment. They're still not giving up. They need to work out some kind of. I mean, next map, more maybe sometimes first game could be a little bit more surprising if they can force the 2 cap more. I actually think they're working against themselves a lot. Because they're not playing to their comp strengths. I mean, it's a strong 2 cap team right now. I mean, they've got portals as well. They should easily be able to capture 2 points and they've got great mobility. They've got 2 portals. Yeah. Maybe they've got too many portals. Maybe they just need to take 1 and maybe offer up a little bit of defense if the Chrono's getting taken down too much. But obviously, portal is fairly defensive as well, so you can reposition around the map. Again, Teddy's. I have seen him elsewhere. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere else. Look at him, he's about to take this guy down. Black Aki could potentially take him down. He got the nice interrupt there as well, doing well with the rock. They need to get him involved in these team fights, I feel like.
And later engineer got a nice knockdown on him. Gonna be able to make sure that downstate happens. But as you said, yeah, it really seems like they're not playing to their comp at the moment. I would love to see them try and stick to just 2 nodes. Honestly, I would take one of these portals off. We haven't really been seeing that many portals happen this game. I think if they just stay on 2 nodes, you keep the Firebrand with the Chrono and the Hollowsmith. You let the Mirage and maybe the Warrior stay around the side nodes. Of course, you can rotate, try and get a decap. The problem is they don't have a Thief, so going for those sneaky decaps might be a little more difficult. Definitely possible. Definitely have a lot of rotation with the Mirage as well. But it's I think that's the only drawback to this at the moment. But definitely not what they're doing now, which is sort of spread around the whole map. The Firebrand's been alone for a lot of this game, and he's not going to be able to 1v1 really anybody on this blue team. So definitely going to have to try and change something up for the next game. But this round 1 absolutely going to go to blue team in a pretty dominant victory.
Indeed. Hopefully we can see something come out in the next map. See if they can turn it around. Hopefully. I mean, it's the first game. We might be able to see something. If they can do maybe something towards what we've been talking about, that might be advantageous. Just seeing exactly what's going on the rest of the bracket as well. So sorry if my camera works or not too great right now. We do have Temple of the Silent Storm coming up next, so that could bring out a lot of changes, especially although maybe double portal might be quite good on the map, to be
absolutely.
fair.
Of course, we do see the double portal on both teams.
Yeah. And not really effective. There's not really been like any massive
really
portal plays at all. To be fair,
it's interesting. Which I was actually a little worried about because we have 4 portals in this game, and I was like, oh, we're going to see a portal and have zero idea whose portal is, but it hasn't been that hard to tell because no one's really been using portals. But
Okay.
yeah, we are going to be going to the next round. Fare thee well, up 1-0 over We Miss 117. And again, We Miss 117, the red team going to have to change something up drastically if they're going to want to make this to a round number 3.
Indeed. Okay. So let's see how we go in this second game. I mean, double portal on both teams. So that, obviously, this map is probably more so the map you might actually be able to go for that. Yeah. Again, you know, these teams could be any... I don't know the skill level of individual players. I don't know how much they play PvP, but also we appreciate them for the fact that these guys are here in the first place taking part. But hopefully maybe Red Team can learn something from that using their comp a little bit more effectively, just making sure they defend up on that Firebrand a little bit more, even though he's the support. Just trying to rally together and actually fight as a team, you know, because I think we saw a lot of individual play there. But not really that cohesion we need to see for them to potentially take team fights and whatnot. And just pull all together, you know, communication.
Yeah. Oh, an interesting choice from the Firebrand is actually dropping the Signet of Mercy. He's going to be going Mantra Truth. A pretty good Mantra there is going to apply a lot of weakness, which will shut down the damage of the SD Thief, the Revenant, even the Mirages, nice. And the Chrono. It can definitely affect them. So I like that. I do like that. And what that says as well is he's probably going to be looking at these team fights. Well, I hope this red team will be looking at the team fights, and obviously the weakness will be hurting the blue team there in those team fights. So, but yeah, I mean, it seems like the red team, they kind of have this idea in their mind that all of their players except for the Firebrand are side noders, and they have to go to the side nodes, and they're not really team fighting, even though the Chrono, the Hollowsmith, and the Firebrand could do a lot together, I think, in a team fight.
Yeah.
And just let the Spellbreaker and the Mirage go for those side node 1v1s or 2v2s. And again, as you said, I don't know these players. I don't know, if they can swap or not. But I would have loved to have seen a Thief come out, maybe from the Spellbreaker here, or even the Hollowsmith. And I think that would have helped them a lot. I mean, especially in Temple, when you have so many different nodes, you have to be able to move around the map really quickly and contest those buffs, contest the side nodes or decap. So it would have been nice to have seen a Thief, but I think that Dome on the blue team is going to be a huge factor in this game.
Just reminding teams that it's a double limb. So if they lose this series, and I'm going to talk about what you said in a moment as well. I wasn't completely blanking you. If they do lose this series, they get to have one last game to come back into this tournament, guys. So don't forget about that. Just reminding these guys that they can come back.
Yeah, absolutely. You do have the chance, if you lose your first game, you can drop down to the losers bracket or the lower bracket. Indeed. And have a chance to work your way back up through. I mean, face the upper bracket.
What you said was very true as well. And to be honest, I'm feeling like, even the Warrior can... I think he's been quite influential, like you were talking about when he was taking down... I think he took down the Thief. I can't remember who it was he took down. I think it was the Rev, actually, sorry. And that Rampage, like we saw last week, Rampage has been so influential at different times.
Huge, especially after the buff.
And it can be in very, very strong in team fights. I mean, Spellbreaker in team fights is still really good. So I actually think get him involved in some team fights. Try and push some more skirmishes. But again, look, they go for the 3-point cap strat. They're playing into the strat.
Well, I don't mind this start as much because they have those three players together. They have the Hollowsmith, the Firebrand, and I think the Chrono, right? Yeah, the Chrono together. So this is okay. They're going for this mid node with that team sort of play, and then the two side nodes they're contesting. I don't really mind the Spellbreaker pushing far. I mean, that makes sense to me. At home, though, they got to be careful. Jin actually going to be forced off this Mirage as the 2-man rotation, and now 3-man rotation with Dome going to be engaging on him, coming out towards that Temple node. And he's going to have to try and fight for his life for the moment as Dome on top of him.
Yeah, the reason I didn't like the initial movement into the map is because the blue team didn't go to mid. That's why I didn't like it, unfortunately. That was the main issue that we have. So we've got a slow rotation from red team, unfortunately, not sending anyone back to home, which is why they lose their team member there, because they were obviously outnumbered. Look, Teddy's goes for the Rampage on the other side of the map. Maybe he'll be able to get the kill onto Mr. Fortune. Over here, recognize that man indeed. And we are going to see as well Pad the Chrono. He should be able to confidently take this point. It sends the port when they go actually back to mid to get a burst damage, the burst damage over onto the enemy team over here to go back for that 2-cap strat. But Teddy's goes back through for the 1v1. in an interesting time. I mean, that was they were used to portal there. I'm not sure they're going to get anything out of it, but I think Ted should have stayed mid. They were outnumbering, and they could have got themselves maybe a kill hit. I know they weren't outnumbering because they had the Mesmer on close, but that was a bit of an odd rotation.
I don't mind it too much. They're getting the warrior back out. They're pressuring the side nodes, and I don't think anyone was... I mean, Equa got pretty low, but I think he was going to be all right in that mid node, and it seemed like they were able to stalemate that pretty well. He does need to be careful in this 1v1 with the Rev, though. He doesn't want to lose this node, and he can't really 1v1 a Rev for too long. Good job. Leader engineer, the Holosmith, coming back in to support that, and Black Haki's now going to have to be careful in this 2v2.
Oh, good. That's good.
I do
they
like it.
Swaps. Yeah, I mean, he needed to swap. The Guardians actually left. He needs to cut. Well, someone needs to come in here. If Black Aki is going to come over here as well. Equa comes back as well. He's chasing the team fight right now. You're going to see people leave as soon as the Guardian comes in. They leave. They're done with that. They don't want to be involved. But they are going to track down the ref here, having a few problems. Obviously, he's on his own. He is being 2v1'd right now, and I believe we are going to see Dome coming in to interrupt and take out Pad. Actually, good damage there from the Thief. Really good pressure to make sure he stays off his teammate and he's able to get away and heal back up. He can obviously evade and get out of that situation. Revenant is still quite low. Pad trying to come up to the point where Ted is. Just trying to offer some kind of defense potentially, as well as pushing still onto the Revenant. He didn't get to reset either. He's in staff very defensive at the moment. Teddy's gets the burst there. We saw and heard the shatter coming out from the Mesmer. We're going to see a quick portal there as well. Teddy's will be cleaved out. Pad leaves along with Leader, so they didn't get out. They're actually using their portals a little bit more effectively. Game is a lot closer now as well, Roy.
Absolutely. Oh, but unfortunately, Equa rotated in. I don't really know what that was about. And as soon as he got to the node, the rest of his team left him going through that portal, and he got a mob just a couple feet away from that portal, and he couldn't get through it. So unfortunately, he fell, and that's definitely not going to be what Red Team wants. Their Firebrand, as soon as Stillness comes up and the team fight might be happening mid, for their Firebrand to be dead. Looks like Mr. Fortune going for that. He's actually going to be able to take it, too. So Blue Team going to start moving ahead. Game was pretty close in the beginning, but now I think Blue Team definitely looking like they're taking this map. And with Stillness, it's not going to be looking too good for the Red Team. Pad now going to be in a 2v1. Dome, Mr. Fortune. Nice grab wall there. Slow him down a little bit, but I don't think he's going to be able to survive for too long. Just get the distort and blink away. But Dome on top of him, and that's probably going to be the Chrono going down. Equa coming in, but not sure he's going to be able to do too much against these players. Doesn't have the Signet of Mercy anymore. Can't pour it up there too easily. And that's probably going to be a kill picked up for Blue.
Indeed. We have got the Warrior taking out the Ulcer right now. Jin is going to try and gang up with him to make sure they get the 1 cap in their favor. They need to get this decap on mid. Druid Oz on the Blue Team currently holding that capture point. Stillness is solid and has just run off, so it's not going to get double cap there. Now we see the burst coming on to Equa again. They really need to be... it sounds weird. They need to be taking care of their Firebrand. It sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's like...
Honestly, I mean,
you know what I mean, right?
Focus. I mean, we saw when Rank 55 was against Team USA, they honestly won games by focusing moves, because he's the easiest target, and the Firebrand in this case is really the easiest target on this game. You're not going to be able to focus a Spellbreaker down that well. You're probably not going to be able to focus the Holosmith down that well. You're certainly not going to be able to focus either the Mesmers down that well. They have Distort, they have so many blanks, so many evades, and especially a Mirage. It's just Firebrand is the easiest thing to focus, especially when you have this power comp. I mean, you have a power Mirage, you have a Revenant, you have a Sword Dagger Thief, which is obvious, and that's like I was mentioning before. That's why you see this weakness manager coming out for the Firebrand. Like I said, I really like that choice, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough, especially when he's not team fighting. They're not like they're playing for 3 nodes. They're playing for the whole map, and obviously on Temple you sort of are forced to play a lot more. You have to rotate a lot more with her Stillness and Tranquility, but they're not. They're letting Blue Team just walk around them and rotate around them, which is exactly what their comp is meant for. And Red Team just playing straight into that. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's the main thing I wanted to see was them kind of just rallying around their Firebrand, taking care of him in terms of actually rotating with him, working on their communication, trying to improve upon that if they possibly can. The Holosmith might actually get a cheeky little kill on the ref there. Cancels his ult, his elite, sorry, his ult. Wow. Too many moments. Right. And then Aki is going to go down here. Good job. That was
nice. Nice job from Easy coming in. Actually almost bursted Holosmith down. He is going to get him down. And we're going for nice Chrono. Gravwell there is going to force Easy work off, and that's going to be the kill on the Rev. Nice job from Pad coming in there to support the Holosmith. and bring him back up. But we're going to see the bottom buff as well as the top buff coming up. And Easy Work will be in position to get Tranquility if no one goes to contest him.
Yeah, this is the thing. And they've got 2 members down. This should be an easy Trank and Stillness for the red team here. Easy. They've got 2 players down. They've got Easy Work down low. They at the bottom. They can easily double up, send 2 men down there. And they need to send another red team. I'd send Ted. I'd send Ted right down there. And don't send Equa, because use Equa as maybe someone to go around the map, get those decaps. They get another member down, Fortune as well. 4 men on the map. They should at least be having Stillness right now, as well as potentially a Tranquility. Dome is very low himself. Leader can punish him by pushing him off. Actually could potentially get a kill here if he's not too cheeky. Dome even goes for a little bit of a cheeky channel there, trying to make sure that Jin doesn't get that Stillness cap as well.
Honestly, this is the first time I've seen Blue Team, I think, really make a big mistake, and that's to 2v1 pad down on Tranquility. You know, it's letting Red Team, they get Stillness, they decap all Blue's nodes, they neutralize the map pretty much. Oh, nice portal there from Pad to get back onto the buff. And I really do like this rotation as well from Jin. So we got the 2 Mesmers from Red Team now holding Tranquility in the bottom. And Red Team does have a potential to come back in this game. They're only about 100 points down now, especially with this Stillness buff. And Blue Team, as I said, I think that's the first time I've seen them mess up between these 2 games.
And actually, oh, Jin does get out of the portal there. Equa goes down low on the other side of the map again. Not really sure about the positioning of their Firebrand, unfortunately. Again, the communication maybe just need to work well, a little bit better with him, unfortunately. I don't think it's working too well. I do still think there's this definite sense of Red Team members playing almost like solo in a you know what I mean? It's like, it seems very disjointed.
Yeah. Jin portaled out, but he went back through. I think maybe he didn't know Ted was down there to stop the Tranquility buff, and he's going to die for that. And, well, Red Team's comeback pretty much just stopped there. We're not going to really see anything happen between this Druid and Spellbreaker, I think, on bottom buff. And the rest of the map is in Blue Team's favor at the moment. Pad downstate as well. Not going to be helping Red Team. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Blue taking this second match as well now. Unless Red Team somehow get Tranquility, but Temple going to be decapped as well. Nice job by Mr. Fortune to get that done. And that's probably going to be game and match as well for Blue.
Entirely possible, especially if they take down Equa again. It might have actually been better to just run him with something else. I don't think we've really seen the use of this Firebrand whatsoever, if I talk about it any... Oh my god, they get a free cap! Did I completely... What? Oh. That was against the run of play. What the hell? There's no way. Dome was down there. Leader did. They did take down Sigurfels. So, let's
think about this for a second.
Jesus.
Red Team gets Stillness, and Dome is the one contesting it. Red Team gets Tranquility, and Dome is the one contesting it. What's happening here? Is this Thief not able to stop us from contesting? I don't know. But Red Team, they get the triple cap back. That's, I mean, they get decapped instantly. Jin's going to go down over an altar. I mean, yeah, I don't... Nice Tranquility cap, but I don't know that they really got anything from that.
I think that's probably why I didn't really view it in the first place. It didn't feel like, in terms of the positioning, that they were going to be able to take advantage of anything. It was the only thing that we could really see them come back into the game. But like, Equa was dead at that point as well. It was like they didn't really have presence on the map to keep control of anything. They do still have this one cap, but 4-3-1 to Blue Team will mean, especially with the death of Equa again over towards Stillness. I mean... There's not really much.
There's nothing that Red Team really can do. One node is all that Blue Team needs at the moment, and we are going to be seeing them take this game. I'm going to call it here. And yeah, you know, Red Team, again, I like the beginning a little bit, but they just seem really slow in the rotations. They really seem a bit unsure of what they're doing. And I'm hoping that, you know, they go down to the bottom bracket and they come together a little bit more and maybe win some of those games in the lower brackets. But definitely Blue Team did a better job here, rotating, playing to their comp, and just sticking to their guns.
Sticking to their guns indeed. Game is still not over. I mean, they're slowly actually catching up here. Teddy's is really low towards the middle of the map. I mean, it's still... Maybe I'm just because of how they've played today, I can't think that they're going to win this game, which is not great of me to think. But they are still keeping it muted across the map. I mean, there we go. Temple has been captured. In terms of the Blue Team now, just needs to hold on to this cap for a little bit of time. So he's trying to hold this point contested over towards mid in this 1v2. Maybe just using Tediz as this 1v2 player to distract around the rest of the map would be good. The rest of his teammates, though, need to help. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of actual communication. They've committed 3 men to this stillness buff, and blue team have a double cap. They can't be doing this. I mean, Equa just, if Equa could maybe just keep going for that buff, that's fine. But they need to get a decap mid. They need to 2v1 that right now. They do get stillness, but look, they lose the caps because they've committed too many members to this. Black Aki might go down here. Oh wow, he's on what, 2k health. He does get a nice withdrawal out as well in the assassin stance. He should be absolutely fine, maybe, unless Teddy's comes in for the kill. He just wants to get a kill for the last bit of the game. Is he going to be able to get it? Revenant does so well there. Dome is doing a great job at helping out to this. And this is the kind of thing. That's a fine example of what we needed to see from the red team more. Looking after your teammates, generally working together as a team a little bit more efficiently. And just thinking about how you can, you know, empower your teammates. You know, defend them, peel for them. We saw Dome do that with the Revenant, actually, at least 4 or 5 times in that game. And he helps him peel away quite a few times. So that's what we need to see a little bit more from the red team. Hopefully they'll come back up from that lower bracket. Of course, they do have that second chance to do so. So fairly well will take that 2-0. And yeah. So what else? And anything else to point out in that game, Roy? I mean, I think.
You know, as I said it once or twice already. Red team again. They didn't play to their comp. They didn't rotate very well, in my opinion. It seemed like they weren't as together as the blue team. And you know, they played themselves, Jebro. That's really what you got to, you know, take away from this.
Yeah,
don't play yourself.
Don't.
They need to play the game, not themselves.
I don't really think I need to add anything to that comment. Let's have a look what else happens.
Looking at the rest of the brackets, I think that was the last game that we needed to finish before we go to the round of 8. We are going to see I Do Kung Fu taking 2-0 over Explosive Storm Team. And Pro Bono PvPers took the 2-0 over Foe Firefighters. Final Fantasy with the 2-0 over Brotherhood of Grey Wolves, I believe that was. So we will get a straw poll out for you guys. You guys are actually going to be voting on the next game that we watch. Or cast, I should say. So we'll get a straw poll out, and you guys can vote on that, and that'll be the next game we watch.
Indeed. Don't go anywhere, guys. We will have a break. We do need to get the straw poll out to you guys as well. I'm going to be giving away something in the chat, so please make sure you pay attention to that. It's going to be a first skin giveaway of the day. I know the week breaks get a little bit lengthy sometimes, so I wanted to try. So we actually got some sponsorship for today. We got from Crime Sorcier and also another guild. It was from Game is their tag on EU. They do a lot of PvE events as well. They're unfortunately not allowed. Our main sponsor is not actually here today, but Trix Morigna actually sent us some skins as well, so we're going to be giving away some of those skins, as well as we've got an Iboga die as well to give away, along with some other bits and bobs. So pay attention to the chat. We'll get something going in there. Also the straw poll. We'll see you very shortly, guys. Thanks so much for watching so far. We'll see you.